And just like building muscle, which is predictable with many known variables, building your capacity to receive, to be worthy, to feel the strength, the manifestation before it materializes, the monies, the relationships, the self-worth, is something you grow, is something you set a goal for, my friend. We are requested to move from the heart to the brain. In considering the brain is a hardware expression of the software of divine spirit, soul, you choose the word. They can overlap. Some are grander. We'll use essence. You are your essence. For your essence to be expressed, your brain must be healthy. For the stone to be lifted, there must be a hand and an arm. For you to speak language means your brain must have Broca's area. Your temporal lobe, your cerebellum, your hippocampus, parietal lobe, these all serve functions, your corpus callosum. And just as if there was no wrist, this rock would not lift. If there was no thumb, the position would be awkward. The smaller parts of you that you do not physically see without support, physically see, are the components of your brain. Knowing thyself does not just mean a personality test. It is easy to know how much you weigh. It is easy to know blood levels of many types of chemicals. With some effort, you can know your tissues and organs, and with more effort, you can know their activity. If you do not know the activity or strength of the many regions of your brain, you do not know yourself. I can't focus, I'm distracted, there's a lot to do. If that appears as you, that does not mean that's who you as essence are. That means the components of your brain may be weak. If you wish to be strong in language, strong in body, strong in dance, strong in mind, critical thinking, learn those, discern those, get an image of those. Find the absolute best, highest standard test, validated 3 times, and take that test. And you will know yourself, so you can stop judging yourself and strengthen the appropriate part of yourself. David wishes for me to speak of the back of the throat. That will be next after we speak of the pineal gland. The pineal gland is a means through which you communicate with the divine and the astral realm. The pineal gland is an organ in your brain which can be damaged and can be strengthened. An organ being activated, electricity, energy, chi, ki, prana, blood flowing through it, activity of a complex nature happening, occurs everywhere in the body. And the more it occurs in the part of your brain that can be healthy, that is pineal, helps you perceive the rest of reality. If you knew you could see ultraviolet light by doing an eye exercise and taking the right vitamins that have been known to be healthy, would you do that work? Say it took 150 hours and the investment of $400 in supplements, and the research had been validated at your leading universities, Johns Hopkins, Harvard, Mayo Clinic, Stanford, these places. And people who did this protocol could see ultraviolet light. It would be a confirmed protocol. So you must follow the Atlantean protocol, the Egyptian protocol, many other types of protocols, the Hermetic protocol, to open your third eye and heal the part of your brain of your pineal gland. This will allow you to speak, to connect, to feel, to be asleep and awake at the same time. And helping this part of your brain shift to a level of healthier, stronger activity will allow you to have the bridge between spirit and body. In the work that you will do to see if your pineal gland is optimal, in the scans and the tests and the validation, of course the spiritual exercises and work is important. You will get comfortable and in your physical body. And so when you see a vision of yourself or your dreams and goals in the future, those will be things that you can take in to yourself and know they will take 3 years and 4 months, knowing they will take 17 days, knowing they will take 18 hours, whatever the vision is. And you will be able to be at peace with that in time. The next question is, why is there confusion in spiritual teachers? And what spiritual teacher is right for me? And this is a question asked from the perspective of a viewer, of a listener. So choosing the right teacher is a matter of alignment, qualification, skills, intended results, and track record. The track record of a teacher is easier to discern, sometimes harder to verify, depending on the size of the teacher's student body and how public those students are. Certain mystical topics, for example, are held with lower credibility in certain professions, so many people are not public about their training. But if you consider a skill or qualification of a teacher, that did not say age, that did not say program, that did not say gender, that did not say tradition. The confusing aspect here is every one of us, every one of you is a channel. You can find somebody who you perceive to be immature, violent, angry, reactive, selfish, petty, egotistical, have a moment of divine alignment where divine comes through and speaks through them. You can find others who do the work for years, for decades, who for decades have been seen to be known as spiritual, as having valuable information, and then for whatever period of time, a second, a year, the rest of their life, they could slip or they could fall, and they could be communicating more from ego. For you, you know, you have been at your best, you have been at your worst. Days go like this. So for you to consider who is the best teacher, you should consider their teachings and their embodiment of their teachings at a level that is currently above yours. If there is not somebody who can offer you more as an example being successful of this, then there is no template for you to shift up to. Now, higher with room to grow where you can see what success, what development looks like, does not mean better and does not mean that you should copy this being. It simply means leading by example. Now, in considering at any one moment who is the best teacher for you for spirituality, consider your primary school education, how many teachers you had for science, all of the sciences, biology, chemistry, physics. If you learned science from various teachers, some were better, some were worse, but ultimately, assuming one teacher per grade, all of their information was essential. So if you consider a teacher or multiple teachers, consider the teachings. Consider how they serve you. Consider how they resonate with what else you know is true and what else other beings say is true and that feels right and valid and accurate and high vibration. And while one person who teaches spiritual topics may embody that being and essence of a spiritual teacher between 0 and 24 hours of a day, between 1 and 7 days a week, etc., a mother may not always be in mother mode. But when you take on that energy, when you take on the being, the essence of spirit, through somebody who offers it to you, simply consider the variety of options and the time it would take to make a major decision, and then commit to that decision. Thinking of a career, a vocation, a job, a mission, and dedicating to it. Think of the longest one you have dedicated to. What factors were present before that dedication? If that was a traditional degree, 4 years. If that was a job, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 plus years. Did you do much research? Did you stick to the plan? If you fell down, did you get back up? Did you stay on track and invest time and energy and constantly improve? Did you enjoy it? Or were there many starts and stops? Where was the most progress? Where was the most prep time? What was the most work to get into? This is a great mirror for spiritual teachers, for our spiritual schools. You may meet a person, conceive of a person, and that's all you get. That's all you need to get. You may see something and say, I know that 4 years of this will do so much for me, and I'm going to make the time investment and commitment. And investment is an incentive to stay committed.